So back in the day, I'm talking 12, 14 years ago, this road used to be open to the public. It was used as a bit of a shortcut for people to take, looking to shave like a minute and a half of drive time off of their route on their way to one of the local destinations in the area. Now, since then, over the past 14 years, all of that has changed. This is no longer open to the public. This is all private residence, and it is openly marked as such several different ways. I can't really think of any other ways that I could make it more clear. However, all the GPS systems that we use, love them or hate them, they have not updated their database. And I've tried contacting them several times, but nothing has changed. So the end result, I'm constantly getting people routed up to the house, up to the shop, up and down the hill several times, and it's always been a bit of a sticking point for me. And at least up until now, I have not had any way to monitor who's coming and going, because I don't always see when this happens, and that is just not cool. So today, I'm going to try and fix that. And to help me do this, I want to introduce my new favorite little robot camera. This is the Anona Orbis. Now, this security camera kit from Anona comes with everything that you need. You have the main camera itself, which I have affectionately nicknamed R2D2, as well as the solar panel and a couple of mounts. Now, this setup is pretty cool. It is a solar-powered camera, and the onboard battery on here is more than capable. If my numbers are accurate, without a lick of sun, the onboard battery on here will last for about a month. Now, Anona refers to this unit as their PTZ camera, which means that it's able to pan, tilt, zoom, and actively track any object that it detects, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And as far as installation, absolute piece of cake. Start to finish, this took less than 15 minutes. Now, as far as how you install it, you do have a few options. You can mount it like I am here. I'm putting on the side of a tree because that's just the most convenient location for what it is I'm trying to accomplish here. But you could also mount it on the side of your house or your building, interior or exterior, or even a pole that you just stick in the ground. Basically anything that you can run a couple of screws in, that's your spot. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're trying to determine the location on where you should mount this is it needs to be within range of Wi-Fi, specifically the 2.4 gigahertz. So where I have it now, it's probably within maybe like 70 or 80 feet of the house, and I'm able to draw the Wi-Fi from the actual house router. However, I do have the option, and I am looking into this, on getting an extender so that I can move the camera a little further down into the field. I just think for what I'm trying to accomplish, that would be a better location. But where I have it now, this is already a massive improvement. So with the camera and the solar panel mounted, I make one single connection, and then I like to tidy up the wires just because I like to make it look neat. That's just how I roll. Now we can turn everything on and do the final setup through the Anona app. Now, personally, I think they did an excellent job with this app. It shows you everything that you need and nothing that you don't. They don't overcomplicate it. So when it comes to setting up a new device, it walks you through the process step by step. It honestly could not be any easier. All right, now with the setup done, let's actually get to the fun stuff and see what this camera can actually do. Now, one of the key advantages that this unit offers is that you're able to monitor a massive amount of area. The camera itself rotates almost 360 degrees, and then you're also able to pan up and down up to 95 degrees. And once it locks onto something, it will follow it throughout any of that range. Now, something that I feel is worth mentioning here is that the detection range, basically the distance from an object to the camera, from the factory, it is spec'd at around 50 feet. And for the most part, I found that to be pretty accurate. So basically, if you're within that 50 feet, the camera's going to get you. However, once you get beyond that 50 feet, the camera still records, but it doesn't necessarily lock in on that object and track it. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're trying to determine where you want to put your setup. Now, as far as the resolution of this camera, it is 2.5K 4 megapixel, which is more than adequate if you're trying to identify someone that came creeping around your property. Now, no pun intended, but nighttime is where this camera truly shines. The camera has 3 different night vision modes. First off, you have infrared. Now, this is in black and white, and it's very, very discreet. Just 3 subtle red dots, so it doesn't really light you up. Next, you've got your smart night vision. Now, this one's in color. This one will light you up like a Christmas tree, and it kind of blinded me here a little bit, but you have very good resolution. Lastly, you have the full color night vision. Now, this is going to be the most demanding on the onboard battery, but same as the smart night vision, it's in full color, and well, you definitely know you're being recorded, put it that way. Now, for those situations where something is happening in frame, but it's just outside of reach of what the camera is able to kind of lock onto and track, there is still video going 24/7. Anona refers to this as AOV, or always on video. This is a 24/7 time lapse, and this is a very, very handy little feature. And something I'm kind of looking forward to playing around with using this AOV feature is essentially using it somewhat like a trail cam. Supposedly we have moose around this area. I've never seen one, but if there is one and it comes through the area, this camera is going to be able to pick it up, which would be just absolutely awesome. Now, the beauty in the system is how all of this information is stored. Now, on the back side of this, well, I'm going to refer to it as the eyeball, but it's the camera. There is a slot for a micro SD card, and you can use up to 128 gigabyte micro SD, which is absolutely fantastic because that means there is no monthly subscription, no fees whatsoever. Once you have this unit installed, it is free going forward, and all the information can be easily accessed through the Anona app anywhere that you are located. Now, when it comes to monitoring a larger area like this, having a camera with the ability to pan and tilt and zoom is just, it is absolutely awesome. It's far, far better than having a single fixed camera pointing over a location. You're going to miss half the stuff. So if you'd like some more information on this camera or any of the other units offered by Anona, I will have links down below in the description as well as a pinned comment. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I'd like to give a special thank you to Anona for sponsoring this video.